Happy belated Mother's Day to all of you who celebrated over the weekend. I'm giving you a quick update on how our market's changed, call it over the last quarter or so. Things are constantly moving in Phoenix real estate. Believe it or not, our seller's market is weakening, which I'm sure no one will believe because things are still flying off the shelves, which has been going on for quite some time. While we are starting to see these homes that are selling for ridiculous numbers and year-over-year returns are much larger than they've ever been, there's some slow changes creeping in. For instance, we are now officially adding more listings to the market than we are taking on new contracts. Up until a couple of weeks ago, it was about 2,359 new listings were added per week on average. And now, and that's about 77% below normal seasonal levels. And then contrast that to the demand, which is 7.6% above normal seasonal levels. So 2,340 new contracts per week are being accepted, whereas before we were seeing far more listings going under contract than we were new listings coming to market. So that's a little bit of good news. You're probably not going to see that much of a difference right away, but there are some places, and I'll get to that in a little bit. Currently, 57% of all sales in April closed over the asking price. And get this, the median amount buyers are paying over asking is $16,100. That means for the average home, or median home this is, that the median number that buyers are paying for a home over the list price is $16,100. So there are 50% of people made less and 50% of people paid more than that, but that is the median number. And shockingly, the median days on market prior to contract acceptance is still 6 days, and this has not moved in about 7 weeks. Getting into appreciation. This is how much our homes are increasing in value. This I found really interesting because for many years we were on this downward trend where the sizes of our homes were decreasing. People decided they were kind of over the big giant home and the yard and all the maintenance, and our home sizes were shrinking as builders were coming in and doing a lot of infill projects, and it was more, more compact but finished homes. And now, due to the pandemic, larger homes are appreciating more than the smaller ones. And this varies depending on the actual home size, given a range. But, call it 4,000 to 5,000 square feet by leaps and bounds is appreciating more so than other home sizes. Appreciation May has been, just for May, 42% so far. And granted, this number will fluctuate, but that's a big number. What's driving this? Well, let's talk about employment. In Arizona, which is one of the top places to move in the nation, which is picking up gains from a lot of other higher cost places with bigger taxes than we have, our labor force has actually increased, which it is unusual because, by and large, the U.S. population is actually decreasing. Our birth rates have been in decline for some time, but Arizona is benefiting from a lot of inbound migration due to businesses, people retiring, and a number of other factors. Interestingly enough, the overall population of Arizona is growing at a rate 4 times larger than the U.S. population growth rate is. So that's a big number because figure births make up a lot of it, and it's not like we're having more babies. There are just more people moving here because it's a desirable place to be for many reasons. Speaking to that, affordability, which drives the number of sales, and obviously it's a basis of how much people can afford. Do they have jobs and stability to afford, whatever their home payment is? Because median incomes rose to $79,000 a year. This is for Q1 of this year, 2021, whereas previously they were down in the 60s. That's a big number. I mean, we're talking about growth of about 25% in the last 5 years, which is substantial. Today, about 62.8% of homes sold in Q1 of this year, 2021, are considered, quote, affordable to a family making the median income. Typically, we look to see, if an area is affordable by saying somewhere between 60 to 75% of the population can afford the median home price. And Arizona is at 62.8, which is a metric we watch a lot. Once it dips below that 60%, meaning that 60% of residents cannot afford the median, we start worrying that we're going to have challenges with, values holding stable and everything else, but Arizona is still doing quite well. Things to watch moving forward: the cryptocurrency market. Luxury has been a strong performer for the last couple of years in Arizona, and interestingly enough, it may be tied. The luxury success may be tied to cryptocurrency because the gains tend to track together. We're not completely sure of how this works, but it's something that we're watching. And then the other piece of it is the cost of a new home or cost of renovations. Lumber now adds, because of the bark beetle infestation and forest fires that we've had in the last several years, the cost of lumber adds now roughly $35,000 to the cost of a new home. That's a single family home. It's about $13,000 for a new condo and about $119 a month to apartments. And then another stat that we talked about, which a couple of you might not find interesting, is now that the National Association of Home Builders is lobbying appraisers to factor this into their home values, because if you're comparing a brand new built home to one that's maybe 5 years, 10 years, 15 years old, because they didn't have the pricing constraints that we do now, they're pushing appraisers to account for this so it doesn't deflate the value of the homes because of this new added cost. And interestingly enough, the cost of cement is going up, which I actually knew about. And it's only affecting the Western US, which I was really disappointed to hear. But, there are many reasons that it's happening, and other places are faring better. So that's it. This is what's going on now. If you have questions as they relate specifically to you or your needs, please reach out and give me a call, 602-810-1750. I miss you guys. I hope that now that people are getting vaccinated and Arizona is officially open for business, I do hope to see you sooner than later. Have a great week.